Hello, 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 Rapid Roo, Starcraft Broodwar Remastered, a ladder replay cast for you today. On Radeon 1.2, we have a Zerg versus Terran for you. In the top right corner, spawning as our red Terran, we have Scan, a professional Korean player who has rose to prominence, firstly as a friend of Artosis, and secondly, and probably much more significantly, as a contender in the ASL. So it's good to see Scan on the ladder practicing, giving us some entertainment, and he's playing against a pro Zerg on a barcode. I'm not sure who this is, but it'll naturally be a very, very top professional Zerg player as well. So we have been getting back into doing some Zerg versus Terran games. I had a look on the channel and I haven't done one for a very long time. And this is a matchup that I thoroughly enjoy. And while I don't know the build orders and the timings as well as the other two Protoss related matches, I certainly do enjoy this match so very, very much. So I've decided to start casting them again. So we're going to be seeing more and more Zerg versus Terrans on the channel for sure. So deep on the low ground tells me that we will be walling. There we go. And so probably we'll avoid the need to spend the money on the bunker and gearing up for a fast expand. And our Zerg is just doing a 12 hatch. So everybody is doing the normal things, which is cool. So we've been casting some mixed variety content, following the journey of some of our BSL qualifiers, doing some ladder compositions of certain players that are quite well known, and just picking fun compilation content based on various criteria using the power of Seawall, mixing in some long macro games along with the compilation fun content to make this a Broodwar, shall I say, not Broodwar, a Broodwar variety channel more than anything else. So I don't just want to cast pro replays, macro games. I definitely want to do a mix, and any suggestions and feedback on this are very much appreciated. So yeah, in terms of housekeeping, that's pretty much what there is to do. We are doing, this is our fourth game today. We're definitely in the mood for it. So some days it'll be a Saturday and I'll be like, I don't feel like recording, and maybe you'll get one game out of me, and I'll do a couple on a Sunday, and I'll try and do minimum of 3 per weekend. But today, just on the Saturday alone, this is my fourth game, and I've got some compilations that I want to record tomorrow that I'm very much looking forward to doing. So we'll definitely smash our target and maybe even do as many as 7 games for the weekend, and that'll be a good outcome to try and maintain our 3 uploads per week schedule on an indefinite basis. So lair, all the normal things, probably a macro hatch will follow this. Scan's got his scouting SCV in here to see what's happening. We'll see how long he's able to keep it alive for. Zerg at this stage doesn't seem to have too much of an idea what's going on. Looks like it's going to be a standard play though from our Terran, getting the eBay up. Just a couple of things chasing around. And that's the end of the scouting. Losing your scouting probe sub 4 minutes, not ideal. Pros obviously try and keep it as long, live as long as possible, but still pretty good. So a couple of lings are going to come up here and see, okay, you've got some Marines, you've walled in, going to just move in behind the wall probably to be safe as houses, or snug as a bug in a rug, as they say. And yeah, we have our lair. Do we have a spire? Yes, of course we do. Second gas on the way. So it looks like 2 hatch spire. 3rd hatch should follow relatively soon. Another Rex on the way. +1 on the way. Academy already in place. Probably going to research STEM first, I think it is. There we go. And then following that, we'll see Marine range. So I do have a little bit of a feel for the build. Feeling relatively safe as our Zerg to take a 3rd. And I think that with the lings he has on the map and the capacity to produce more, he should be able to fend off any pressure. No Sunkens or anything of this stage. I think he's probably backing himself to get his mutas out on time anyway. So we'll just keep an eye on that. Scan doesn't have any vision on the map at the moment, with the exception of, I was going to say Scanners, and his name is Scan. So perhaps he'll get some scanners going relatively soon. He does have the academy to do so. Going up to 4 racks here, so possibly some pressure, a bit of a +1 timing that he's building up to. Bling's just poking around, seeing what's happening. Marine range on the way. Second engineering bay won't be too far away as well. Couple of turrets, as you would expect now, to block against the inevitable and somewhat expected Mutalisk harassment. Clearing a path now for his units to come through. More turrets along the way. Here come the mutas. It's all pretty standard stuff so far. We'll remove the panel just for easy visibility for now and bring it up if we need to. So, Scan chasing off some of the lings. Picks up a SCV. It's got 1 turret here. I think that was a questionable choice by Scan. Now 2 turrets. So it does lose a meter. Not much by way of lings here to place pressure on. Overlord visibility is good. Let's pick off a marine. That was pretty good. Meanwhile, Scan has had to pull. I think I hate the fact that he just doesn't have a. It just doesn't have a turret back here. So he had to pull his workers from his main to his natural because the mutas are just flying past these 2 turrets out of the range here, and he's moved out his entire bio ball. So. Some interesting decision making from Scan. I won't say questionable because he's obviously far better at this game than I am. So I'm just going to imagine that he knows what he's doing. Let's just go with that. Alright, so. Have we made another turret? No, we haven't. We've just stuck with our 2 turrets. We're making a 3rd one. Okay, so this one will range quite nicely, so that's good. Mutas are around. He's just trying to catch. I don't really know where he's going. Does he think that his opponent is here and he doesn't know? Oh, he scouted him. He does know. Picking off a medic. His 10 mutalisks. Suddenly the realization that a few Sunkens would be useful has hit our Zerg. Not making any here though, so I don't know how he's going to defend this. Probably just with these mutas. Still just 5 racks. Factory on the way, so he's progressing with his tech tree, probably towards vessels. It does dive on these turrets. Chews through them really quickly. There's really nothing here to protect. He's gonna have to just fight this fireball. Zerg seems to want to take this fight, and he seems to have the numbers too. Scan is losing heaps of SCVs here. He had 28 when this fight started. He is now down to 20. So this has been a very decent exchange for our Zerg. Meanwhile, we're doing a counter-attack, and there are so many Sunkens here. It does pick off an Overlord, but I don't know what's going to defend this base. I think it's going to be a bit of a base trade scenario for sure. So he's got plenty of mutas here. He's going to surround these barracks. Don't know what or anything Scan's going to do. This base is over. Zerg knows that. But I think the sack and the trade between the bases is worthwhile. A command center is finished. So now what is he going to do is the question. He's got plenty of turrets in the natural. Can't take down a few. Yeah, sending some reinforcing mutas. Sending now his infantry units into here, I think would be a death sentence. Oopsie. They're probably just sending his units back, which is a good call. He's had some amazing comeback games recently. This game, though, if Terran somehow comes back from this, I'll have to eat my hat. I don't even have a hat. A muter on this micro on these muters is really, really good. So Zerg's going up to hive tick behind this. I think he should have enough turret coverage for this. So I think our Zerg needs to slow down. Our Terran is miles behind. So Zerg's re-established the lost third. Gone up to hive tech. Probably going to be droning behind this. It's making more mutalisks though. How, if you are scanned, do you recover from here? Making an armory. Potentially going to make Goliaths to take on these muters. We'll have to see. I don't think that our Zerg will relent. In other words, it's going to stop putting pressure on. We'll have to see. Making some Sunkens here. And try and save these barracks. Doesn't have any medics with us. They come there, they come slowly but surely. So both in the red, these racks. Oh, a Valkyrie has arrived. He managed to get one out. Wow, okay. Is this clutch? Let's see. Need some SCVs to come and repair. He's got them in. Okay, so the armory was for the Valkyries. He does have the star fort here, making another Valkyrie as well. So Valkyries are going to have to prove their magic. Like to see a micro of those. It's really cool when they're controlling the Valkyries the way they are. You get an Overlord? Nope. Oh, he loses a Valkyrie. He's buying himself some time here, which is the whole idea, I would imagine. Another free Overlord as he moves out onto the map. Making another Valkyrie. So this is just a Marine Medic Valkyrie kind of build in direct response to... Oh my god, he's on Guardians already. Wow, he got to hive tech pretty fast. A nice commitment to Sky Zerg. Second game in a row I've done where I've had some serious Sky Zerg. Factory is floating around just to do some spotting. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It's a lot of Scourge, man. It's like a scary amount of Scourge. I think he's going to tidy all of this up without a problem, which is going to put Scan even further back. Well, that meter absorbed a lot of shots. Uh-oh. Scourge! Let's get away. I'm trying to save this depots, but chooses not to engage. Valkyrie's not here, and he's microing them to try and take on these. Alright guys, I'm a Scan fan. I'm sure you all are, but I don't see him coming back from this deficit. I am enjoying his Valkyrie Micro though, I must say. Very oopsie, very snazzy. Good luck getting out of this trouble though. Oh, he seems to have done okay. He wrote something in Korean. Probably very complimentary. There we go. And boom! We have some lurkers here. Scan only has one scanner because he doesn't have a command center. He's making one behind this though, so re-establishing his main. And wow, he's still looking like he can fight his way out of this game. If I don't know. Honestly, if I get one more comeback today, I'm gonna I'm gonna go crazy. Alright, here come the lurkers. They don't burrow on time, so he loses one for nothing. Does scan on time. Got a really nice spread on these Marines. I think these lurkers better run for the hills. Picks off all of them for relatively nothing, and suddenly Scan moves into the supply lead. Also decides to micro these Valkyries like an absolute boss. Gonna kill a whole heap of overlords here. Positioning himself, but not pushing against all these Sunkens. I think maybe just trying to contain. Yeah, that's the game plan here. Just pick off overlords, contain, and establish another base, or at least get this base up and running. Get some SCVs going. Does decide to pull in here, take on all these Sunkens. Has to pull some drones, but I think the Sunkens have got it, especially with the reinforcing lurkers. Pulls away and saves what units he can, which was nicely done. These Valkyries have just done so much work, bro. Damn. "13 kills! Holy crap! Valkyrie, good unit, man. Scan reloads again. It's probably going to pick up a couple of another free overlords. Zerg just can't seem to get anything going here, although, there we go. Kills all three of the Valkyries with Scourge. That was very nicely done. However, Scan has decided to try and push this position again, but lurkers are doing a fine job in containing this spot. Scan decides to pull back. I think the key for him is to try and get his macro engine up and running without letting Terran, without getting Protoss. Okay, we'll get it right eventually. Without letting Zerg get too strong. So we're doing a drop this time. We're going to drop in the main. Come and check that out in a second. So these units all retreating. Hydras are really bad against Marines. So I think this is going to go pretty nicely until the lurkers show up. Meanwhile, lurkers have showed up on the front door of Scan, and he really has so little to fight this with. So this is just causing a heap of pain. Tanks, however, they shoot pretty well. Still having a pretty good time here with the second drop of Marines, so not relenting this pressure here. The drones have been sent back, and he's kind of going to drop again. Is he going to drop here? He sure is. Even though the lurkers are now going to have to run all the way around, trying to take down the Hydra Den. Meanwhile, the tanks and the Zerg continue to pressure this side. This game has turned pretty much chaotic, for lack of a better word. Hydra Den does go down. I think the spawning pool was also killed. Yeah, so he's lost his spawning pool and his Hydra Den, so his production capacity is going to be somewhat halted for the time being. And tanks on the high ground were what sorted him out of danger here. And the final few Marines from this drop have been mopped up by a combination of Hydra Lurker. So more Lurkers here. I think with the tanks on the high ground, these Lurkers are going to struggle. Although Dark Swarm has also showed up. Oh my god, those Lurker spines. Absolutely devastating. If you can get the Defiler around here to do that, another Dark Swarm, gonna have a tough time. I don't know how many irradiates he's got, if there's any Scourge. There are some Scourge in the production tab. But Scan's gonna lose the armory. He's gonna lose a lot of his tech here. So he loses his natural, but his natural's not, shall we say, the most valuable of targets. Lurker's about to run away. Scourge do pick off one vessel. Uh-oh. Let's again lose another vessel, but this looks very scary if you're a Zerg. He doesn't really have any units. He's got a few Hydras, a few Lings, and this is a very scary bull of Marine, Medic, Tank, and Science Vessel. Expanding behind this as well. He's just going to have to transfer some workers. Obviously focusing his micro on the attack for now. Sends the Lurker, drops Dark Swarm, which does push him back for the time being. Transferring workers here, so losing this natural really didn't matter all that much to scan. It was pretty much already mined out. Oh, okay. Suddenly some Zerg forces have arrived. Chasing the vessels predominantly, but not getting too many connections there. Wow. Gonna get some Lings on top of these tanks. The Marines though should help tidy this up. Yeah, Dark Swarm really is a powerful spell. Spell? Here we go. I think this is going to be the back broken of the Zerg here. His vessels are on top of everything. Yes, he's got the plague, but I don't know what units he's going to try and kill them with. Meanwhile, Scan's also done another good drop here into the main, which he's got nothing to defend here. So, what an incredible comeback this has been. He was down and out, on the verge of losing this game, played his way back with unbelievable Valkyrie Micro, and then just systematically wore the Zerg down in what was an incredible game. I really do love TVZ. This was another wonderful reminder of why an absolute clinic by a pro who honestly just made too few turrets in the beginning. Really cost him, and yet he still managed to pull the game back from there, which I think is unbelievable. So thanks so much for tuning in and watching, guys. I really enjoyed it. I'll be bringing you all sorts of fun and wonderful games in the not too distant future. Until next time, take it easy, man. See ya.